Hello everybody, my name is Ben Looms and I'm here to give you a bit of an insight into Syrinscape's sounds for the first chapter of the strange Aeons adventure path, and a little bit of a view into some of the sources of some of the sounds and how we processed them and how they were put together to greatly enhance the mood of this weird, horrible adventure. Great, so I have 9 million windows open and things and programs to show you lots of the different things about how it was built. So if I get lost, please forgive me. Right, as mentioned in another video, one of the most interesting and new things that we did for the Strange Aeons adventure path was to do tension levels. And I'll give you there's a bit of a demo of those. So you can actually, as you're playing the adventure, ramp up the tension or lower the tension by increments. The players hopefully shouldn't notice you doing this, but it will affect them and it will affect the mood that's at the table. Yeah, grab a copy of the sound set and have a bit of an experiment. Each of the different tension levels combines different elements in the Syrinscape interface in different kind of ways. And most of them are fairly subtle, though they become less subtle as the tension goes up. Number 3 actually has a song. A horror song, of course. I hear this drummer here. This is kind of cool, the way we managed to put together these drums. What I'm going to do is stop that and bring up the creator so you can see how we actually did this. I'm going to go down to the drum hits. So each of these little moments in the drums is a single sample. I'll play one of them. Lots and lots of them. In fact, 17 timed together like this. I'll run the element now. Here we go. So they are set to play somewhere between 2 seconds before the end of the previous sample and 0 seconds. So exactly in line with the end. And it actually sounds like a drummer improvising. In kind of a doom way. How cool is that? I was very proud of that particular one. When it's all combined with the other elements, it sounds like this. And another thing that's new that we're doing in Syrinscape sound sets that are more horror focused is using these dramatic hits like this. Whole orchestral kind of horror build-ups that often lead up to jump scares. Set them off individually as the game master, or there's some built into this combat sphere we are. Cool, huh? There's probably 15 to 20 of these different ones. How cool is that? Right, another thing I want to show you is the weeping wall. This one's a combination of some of the squelching that was actually sourced from the sewer sound set originally. It's literally a chicken being torn apart. Awkward. And then once the weeping wall attacks, gnashing teeth are particularly gross. stop that and just start the gnashing teeth. These are actually chicken bones being broken and snapped. And they kind of sound like... oh, like a clicking horrible jaw. The blinks are cool too. It's a super slowed down recording of a blink. So it sounds like a big leathery thing opening and closing. Ah, that's so cool. Right, another interesting thing is the Night Gaunt. Where is the Night Gaunt? Here we are. I'll play the Night Gaunt battle. That sound. Where do you reckon I got that from? So that actually comes from these sounds. Stop! How do I stop it? Oh, yeah, there we are. Right, did you know you can stop Syrinscape, by the way, at any time you like by double-clicking on any mood? So say this is going, turn that on, turn that off. That will stop Syrinscape if you couldn't be bothered hitting the pause button. Right, these sounds. Here we go. What's this? That's right. You can read there. Maybe. Seals. How cool is that? So what sound set is that in? That's in Dead Don't Dream. So I'm going to bring this up. Oh yeah, here we are. Night Gaunt. A good way I often find the sounds and elements in Syrinscape is just use the search function of your browser pretty easily. Whoops, I went to the wrong one. Night Gaunt Battle, Night Gaunt Wings. Where's throat noises? Here we are. No, that's the... What one's doing the... There's so many elements. Yeah, that's it. Hear the nice reverb on those. Right. Throat noises. Here we are. Right, listen to them. There's a bit of processing on them. But not much. Once again, about 20 samples. So thank you, lovely fur seals. You've made a horrible undead monster thing. That's gross. What else did I want to show you that? Right, it gets better and better. The Boilborn. This was a fun one. So this one, I'll show you the Boilborn. One way you can bring up a sound you're searching for, even if you've got a limited list there on the left, is just by typing into the search field. So where is he? What's that sound? Let's turn off some of the other elements. Yeah, that one's cool. It's an ooze, so I've reused some of the ooze sounds. What's that? Do you recognize it? Yeah. Have a listen to this. This is the source recording. It's a cute baby! Supplied by a wonderful Syrinscape user, in fact. The baby's not a user of Syrinscape, obviously, but his parents. Her parents. You can tell it's a girl baby. So we'll turn them back on. Pitch shifted down and a few other weird things done to it. And then there's the... here we are. So actually the loudest elements of the Bowl Born are reserved up here for the one-shots. It all combines to make this. Right, one more. Another child supplied these sounds, which is the attic whispers. Once again, another subtle sound set. A lot of these sounds in the strange Aeons
Brendan, are you there?
are fairly subtle and unnerving.
Brendan, where are you? Brendan, are you there? Brendan, I'm scared. Brendan, my lamp went out. Brendan, wake up. Brendan.
One of the things you do in horror is have beautiful innocent sounds, like the sound of a children's toy running, or a nursery rhyme, or children's
Brendan,
voices.
where are you?
And the dissonance between that beautiful innocence and naivety and safe sound and the sort of screeching noise or bassy underlying themes creates a dissonant tension in the listener, which makes it feel
Brendan, where are you?
uneasy. So this one was an interesting experience. Let me see if I can find the Boil Born and just show you a little bit of what we did. Here we are. Okay. Did it go? Okay, here we are. So this sound has a reverse reverb, which we often do in Syrinscape. It's kind of where the tail of the sound starts. Oh, that's not the right one. I'm saying attic whisper, aren't I? You all knew that. Attic whisperer. Right, here we are. Attic whisperer voice, full voice. Right. Has a reverse reverb tail.
Brendan, are you there?
But this one actually has a reverse echo.
Brendan, are you there?
And you can hear the further into the future that the reverse echo becomes the more dulled. So it starts off like that and then becomes clearer and clearer until it bursts out with the actual sample.
Brendan, are you there? Brendan, are you there?
Plus, as I said, that sort of combination of the weird ghostly effect plus the actual lovely voice of the boy.
Brendan, wake up!
And then there's a weird trebly tail on that sample.
Brendan, wake up!
So the combination of the innocence and the naivety and the purity of the original sample with the weird effects means that it sort of, once again, creates that dissonance in the mind. Let's see if we can find this attic whisperer element. Here we are. Trigger some of these with their reverbs also. Once we then add a reverb splash from Syrinscape.
Brendan, I'm scared. I'm scared. I can't see. Where are you?
Then it really starts to become horrible.
Brendan, my lamp went out.
My web went out. It's so cute. So I didn't need to create the reverb in the processing. I just did the echo, which I needed, the reverse echo. And then I let Syrinscape dynamically apply the reverb. So that all those normal things happen so that when the sound is further away, it becomes more echoey and softer. And as the sound gets closer, it gets drier, which really creates that real sense of positioning for Syrinscape. So that when one of those attic whisperers appears really, really closely, it's pretty freaky. Right, and one more thing I want to show you. Congratulations if you got this far through the video. The dialogue we're including more and more in these adventures. Not that we're meant to be replacing your acting, because I'm sure you are all very, very awesome. But just so that we can actually, sort of allow you to trigger these sounds and really bring the characters to life in these adventure paths. And then you can do your own acting around that. Right, what one did I want to play you? There was a really, really cool one here. which is a good example. What's growing on the wall? So here is Winter, who's one of the NPCs, who's a female, so I can't do the voice really well because I'm a man. Have a listen to it.
I don't know. We've left it alone and it hasn't bothered us.
So in the
Don't
text,
tell the others about it though. I don't want to upset the children or any of our more delicate souls. Things are bad enough without that.
in the text, there's a question that the players might ask of the character, and then there's her standard responses, which she can respond. Now, if there is an appropriate response, then you can trigger it in Syrinscape, and the players can actually hear the actual voice of the NPC with all the coloration and the acoustic environment and everything all going. So she would be saying these things in the chapel. If the players ask a question that's not covered, then you can just say Winter explains that she doesn't know, or Winter says this, or you can actually just paraphrase her really, really well. If the players ask a question that's specific to the book and the response is perfect and you're seeing it in the book in front of you, you can just actually trigger the response with the one shot straight away. If you ever trigger one of these by mistake and you want to stop it,
I'd never laid eyes on him.
Just give a double click on that mood and it will quickly fade her voice out and you can keep playing. If the players ask a question that she can respond yes to, is Winter able to respond?
Yes.
Is she always going to say yes?
No.
And what if she doesn't know what to say?
Possibly.
And once again, these one-shots are filled with multiple samples. So she doesn't always say possibly. She might say...
Perhaps.
Or...
I do not know.
So there's multiple samples in there so that it keeps that realism going. So don't feel like these have to replace your own fantastic voice acting and coloration and description, but if you want to use them, you can, and I think it's a really, really useful tool for that. Well, there's a little bit of me rambling on about the amazing stuff we've been able to do for this adventure path. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got some questions, I'd love your engagement in the video below. Share the video on Facebook or whatever you like, and ask some questions in the comments. Contact us on the forums or me directly at benjamin@syrinscape.com. I hope you really enjoy our stuff, and yeah, give us feedback. We're pretty much a feedback driven company, so whatever you really, really want to happen in Syrinscape, join the argument and join the clamour for what you really, really want to hear appearing next. Game on and enjoy Syrinscape as you can go. And I'm going to turn on what's the worst, grossest... Oh, the epic battle at the end of this is pretty funny. Pretty funny. Not funny at all! It's horrible! I'm going to turn that on to play me out. Game on.